She never falls off the face of the earth like this. She never disappears. This is not like her at all, and we're really worried about her. Maybe she hitchhiked, maybe she got a ride from somebody. Who knows what could have happened.
Gregory Groom reported her missing on the 8th.
We don't know how he feels, but like he has an unborn baby out there. He's worried sick, I bet.
We cannot rule out the fact that there could be nefarious acts that contributed to the missing person.
Kylee texted one of her sisters that he violently assaulted her.
Ms. Monteiro texted a sister that he threw me on the ground and pulled my hair and strangled me. My phone is at 4%, and if I die, it was Greg.
Where is Kylee? The family of this 18-year-old woman who's 11 weeks pregnant, according to the family, is now pleading for help in finding her. I'm Dan Janey.
And I'm Patrice Wood. Kylee Monteiro's sister is speaking with NBC 10 about her disappearance. The night team's Leanna Falk is live in Rehoboth with the latest on the search. Leanna?
Patrice, Dan, investigators spent the better part of today combing through the wooded area where Kylee was last seen. Her family tells us what's been happening is anything but normal.
This isn't like her at all. I'm really scared. I really am.
A frantic search along a rural Rehoboth road.
She never falls off the face of the earth like this. She never disappears.
For any trace of 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro. Faith says her sister was last seen Thursday night around County Street wearing a red t-shirt, ripped blue jeans, and tan boots. Kylee is 6 feet tall with light brown hair and blue eyes. Her sister says she's also 11 weeks pregnant.
She's a good girl. She's just, she doesn't know how to survive out there by herself.
Her sister says Kylee is glued to her phone, constantly posting on social media or calling family for advice. But since Thursday, nothing but silence. Kylie's family says she recently graduated from Attleboro High School and was excited to become a mom.
She's just so excited for their arrival and all of that. She even has a name picked out.
Police confirm she was at her boyfriend's house before she vanished. NBC 10 asked what they've learned from him. They said it's under investigation. For now, investigators are zeroing in on the woods where she was last seen.
It's really in the middle of nowhere. It's really far to get anywhere. It's like an hour walk just to get to like the nearest store, you know? So it's all very concerning.
Her family's message is simple. Spread the word and help bring Kylee home.
This is not like her at all, and we're really worried about her.
Anyone with information on Kylee's whereabouts should contact Rehoboth police immediately. They're also asking people to look into their surveillance cameras to see if they have any clue of anything that would lead them, especially those living around County Street. For now, though, we're live in Rehoboth. Leanna Falk, NBC 10 News, 19.
Today, crews in Rehoboth are searching high and low for 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro. Kylee went missing last week, and she hasn't used her phone or social media since then. Her sisters say that she's 11 weeks pregnant. Good evening. I'm Patrice Wood.
I'm Gene Valicenti. Her boyfriend lives on County Street, where she was last seen. NBC 10's Molly Levine back on scene today, following up with family. Molly?
Gene and Patrice, both of Kylee's older sisters tell me that they're concerned, but they're not losing hope.
We just want to know she's okay. We love her. We miss her. And her safety is #1 to us right now.
Kylee's two older sisters.
We need to know that she is alive and that she is safe.
Faith and Catherine Monteiro are both hoping for their little sister's safe return. She was reported missing last Thursday, and since then, search crews have been searching high and low, deploying drones and canines, getting on ATVs and riding bikes through the woods, in the water, and on the phone.
They have contacted shelters nearby, homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, hospitals nearby. They haven't found anything yet.
Her last known location was in Rehoboth along County Street. Her family tells me she was at her partner's house.
The police are doing their job. They're investigating, and that's all I can say right now.
1 week later, and there have been no calls, texts, or comments from Kylee.
She was somebody who posted a lot, especially on TikTok and Snapchat. She was very active on those two platforms, and there has been absolutely nothing.
Kylie's sisters want the community to keep an eye out, keep spreading the word, make flyers and share on social media, but avoid starting your own search crew.
Maybe she hitchhiked, maybe she got a ride from somebody. Who knows what could have happened.
and they're calling on rideshare drivers in the area to help too.
There's so many scenarios that have gone through all of our heads, so many theories that everybody has. It's all skepticism at this point. We don't know what happened to her, but we're not giving up hope.
And I have tried getting an update from police, but all I've been told is that it's under investigation. I'm live from Rehoboth tonight. Molly Levine, NBC 10 News.
Where is Kylee Monteiro? She was last seen in Rehoboth last Thursday, and family and friends say they have not heard from her since. This is very concerning because her sister says she used to talk to her every day. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Patrice Wood.
And I'm Dan Janik. Even more concerning, they say she's 11 weeks pregnant and up until last week was active on social media every day. NBC 10's Gabrielle Cracciolo is live at the reservoir in Rehoboth, where search crews were out again today. Any luck, Gabrielle?
Well, we have very little information out here. Police are not answering any questions about this multi-day search. The last spot we saw them was searching out here on the reservoir. 1 week after she was last seen, the search for 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro continues. First on land in Rehoboth near County Street, where she was last seen, then in the water of a nearby reservoir.
Maybe she hitchhiked, maybe she got a ride from somebody. Who knows what could have happened. So that's why we're trying to spread awareness. If she's out there, we just want her or whoever might have seen her to come forward, and just so that we know that she's okay. That's all we want. We just want to know she's okay.
She's 6 feet tall with light brown hair and blue eyes. The recent graduate of Attleboro High School is about 3 months pregnant. Police have assured her family they're doing their due diligence and won't stop looking for her. We've tried finding out if they have any leads, but Rehoboth police haven't responded to any of our questions about this multi-day search.
So they're doing everything in their power they can. They're putting as much effort into this as possible to get to the bottom of anything.
And police and her family are asking anyone with any information, even if you think it may be as small or might not be significant, reach out to Rehoboth police and let them know if you have any information about what happened last Thursday, where Kylee might be. Live in Rehoboth, Gabrielle Caracciolo, NBC 10 News.
And there is still no sign of Kylee Monteiro, despite a large police presence in Rehoboth this week. Good evening. I'm Patrice Wood.
I'm Gene Valisanti. The pregnant 18-year-old was last seen in Rehoboth, where NBC 10's Gabrielle Caracciolo is live tonight trying to get an update from police. Gabrielle.
Yeah, well, we saw a significant decrease in that police presence today. In fact, we couldn't find them anywhere but here at the police station, and they would not confirm whether or not they were still out searching for Kylee today. A pregnant teen last seen in Rehoboth is still missing. 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro was last seen on County Street Thursday, August 7th, an area with lots of woods and not far from this reservoir.
Those types of topography is going to be extremely difficult.
After days of searching, police weren't spotted around town Friday, and all they'll say is that they have no update. Todd McGee spent 24 years with Massachusetts State Police.
Why would police stay so tight-lipped in these kinds of circumstances?
You know, although this is a search and rescue mission, we cannot rule out the fact that there could be nefarious acts that contributed to the missing person. And so if there is some wrongdoing here in that particular occasion, then law enforcement doesn't want to share any information that has any type of evidentiary value.
Earlier this week, we saw state police helping the search with a helicopter, boat, and canines.
The air wing often will have a infrared technology. So now if there is a body that is in the woods, that heat map of that body can signal the, especially at nighttime, where those types of technologies and equipment are very effective. They can identify maybe in a heavy brush area that there could be a body that's in that particular zone or search area.
Now, Kylie's sister tells me the family has not given up hope that she'll be found. They're asking for people to continue to share this story in the hopes that someone who knows something will come forward. Live in Rehoboth, Gabrielle Caracciolo, NBC 10 News.
She was very happy. She would be 11 weeks pregnant this week.
The sisters of a missing local 18-year-old woman who's pregnant reveals new details on her mysterious disappearance. Kylee Monteiro has not been seen in more than a week. She was reported missing by her boyfriend. Kylie's sisters are desperate for answers as police continue to search Rehoboth, where she was last seen. The night team's Sam Reed joins us live now from Rehoboth. Sam?
Patrice, 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro is one of several siblings. Tonight, two of her sisters telling me that her disappearance is completely out of character and that they fear for her safety.
This is not normal behavior. We have no clue what happened.
It's been 8 days since anyone has seen or heard from 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro, who was last seen on August 7th near County Street in Rehoboth.
The last time we heard her voice was Wednesday night, but last point of contact was Thursday through text.
Her sisters telling NBC 10 that she wandered away Thursday night from her estranged boyfriend's house that borders the reservoir, the same area law enforcement have been searching for days.
He woke up Friday morning and realized that she wasn't there. He got worried and contacted the police.
Roughly 5 years ago, after her mom's passing, her sisters say she moved in with her aunt and uncle in Attleboro, where she graduated high school. In March, she met her boyfriend, moved in with him, and became pregnant. Things have been on and off ever since.
She was staying with me previous to the home. It was a shelter for homeless pregnant women in Pembroke, Mass. It's called Bethesda House, and she stayed there for about 3 weeks, and she had been kicked out because she had to go to the hospital the day before because she had vaginal bleeding. She didn't get back till 6 in the morning, and she missed the mandatory morning meeting.
They say that's how she recently ended up back in Rehoboth. What do you think happened to your sister?
We really don't know. We have no clue. But none of it adds up because knowing her and her personality and how she was, this is very scary.
With plans of parenting in the future, they say despite rough circumstances, Kylee was eager to become a mom.
So happy. She said if it was a girl, she was going to name her Eleanor.
They say they believe the same can be said for her unborn child's father, who has been at the center of speculation.
We don't know how he feels, but like he has an unborn baby out there. He's worried sick, I bet.
Having not heard from her for days, optimism has turned to fear for their sister and her unborn child.
So it's been absolutely nerve-wracking not knowing where she is and not knowing, when's the last time she ate, when's the last time she, slept, is she okay?
The sisters tell me while they don't know where the search stands with local law enforcement, they plan to search for Kylee until she's found. Anyone with information on the disappearance of Kylee is asked to contact the Rehoboth Police Department. Live in Rehoboth tonight, Sam Reed, NBC 10 News Night Team.
I'm Patrice Wood. Breaking news tonight in the disappearance of 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro. A Rehoboth man has been charged with domestic assault.
I'm Gene Valicenti. Now, her family says it's the boyfriend. NBC 10's Molly Levine is on the scene with the very latest. Molly?
Well, Gina, Patrice, at this point, we still don't know if authorities have found 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro, but what we do know is that there's been a big police presence here since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'll take a step aside so you can see what we're looking at here along County Street in Rehoboth. We've seen investigators, canines, even an excavator on the property. They're searching her boyfriend's house and property, and new information from the Bristol County DA's office tonight. They're charging him. 22-year-old Gregory Groom has now been charged with aggravated assault and battery on a pregnant person, domestic assault and battery, and intimidation of a witness for acts committed against Kylee Monteiro on Wednesday, August 6th. That's 1 day before Kylee was reported missing. Groom is being held without bail and will be arraigned tomorrow in Taunton. Kylie's 18 years old and now 12 weeks pregnant. As for what exactly crews are doing now on the property today, that's not clear. But we know the property they're searching features more than 25 acres of land, a lot of it being thick woods, which crews have spent at least a week searching for Kylee and coming up short. Her sister Faith, who I've been in touch with from the beginning, met us at the scene when she found out crews were back searching.
Constantly in contact with them. Hasn't been much updates. Everything is kept quiet. They don't want anyone to interfere with the investigation, which I understand, but it looks like they're raiding the house now, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just scared, and I hope they have a lead on something. We love our sister so much, and we're so scared, and we miss her, and we want her to come home. But at the end of the day, whether she is dead or alive, we just need closure.
The incident is still under investigation by Massachusetts State Police as well as Rehoboth Police. Again, Gregory Groom will be in court tomorrow morning, and we will be there. I'm live from Rehoboth. Molly Levine, NBC 10 News.
Tonight, investigators believe that they have found the body of that missing pregnant teen buried in the woods of Rehoboth. I'm Dan Janik. That discovery came not too long after police charged Kylee Monteiro's boyfriend, 23-year-old Gregory Groom. He is in custody at this hour. We have team coverage on the big story. NBC 10's Patrice Wood is anchoring our coverage from Rehoboth, where she spent much of her day working on the story. Patrice?
This is such a sad, sad story. The sisters of Kylee Monteiro knew something was wrong way back on August 6th, and they were absolutely right. The body of Kylee Monteiro was found just a few yards from here on the property where her boyfriend lived, Greg Groom. And the Bristol County District Attorney confirms to us that he's going to be charged with killing her.
As a result of the search of the property, human remains consistent with those of Kylee Monteiro have been recovered. We await confirmation from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. Based on the current state of the evidence that has been obtained during the investigation, Gregory Groom will be charged with the murder of Kylee Monteiro.
And that's going to be in Taunton Court tomorrow. We're going to be covering that for you. Joining me now is Leanna Falk, our nighttime reporter, and you've been talking to the family.
Yes, and I mean, absolutely heartbreaking, just this news
terrible.
For them. It's not what they expected. It's definitely not what they were hoping for and praying for. I mean, there were several friends and community members that were here that they just erupted into tears as that confirmation really came out that Kylie's body may have been found. It was actually Kylie's sister, Faith, who, you know, just like her name, really held on to hope that they were going to see their sister again. In fact, Faith actually rushed here to the scene to hear and see for herself what had been confirmed, that her sister's body may have been found. Now, Faith had often described Kylee as full of life. She had just graduated from Attleboro High School with dreams of becoming a welder and also a mom. Kylee was 11 weeks pregnant at the time of her disappearance. Her family says she was excited for motherhood, so much so she already had a baby name picked out. Her sister says she was caring and kind. She always called her siblings every day for advice, loved social media as much as any other 18-year-old, and that's why they were so concerned when they had not heard from her in a while. And the family says they weren't aware of any abuse in the house until the August 6th incident, which led to Gregory Groom's initial assault and battery charges. So just like us, they're really going to be paying attention to some of the details that come out of this. What led to this distraught moment? You know, they told us that they plan on being at tomorrow's hearing in Taunton, as will we, to kind of figure out what exactly happened here.
Yeah, there's so many questions. We don't know what led them back here. We don't know if Gregory Groom actually confessed.
No.
We don't know if he's the one that told them where to find the body, but we did see excavators, so we can only assume that they were digging in the yard, right?
Yeah, the DA didn't want to answer any questions. We tried shooting a few at him at the end of the press conference, hoping to get some of those answers, but it's going to looking like we're going to be waiting a few weeks for that to happen.
So we saw the excavator leave.
Yes.
The medical examiner arrived.
Yes.
And so we can assume that we will hear more in Taunton District Court tomorrow and maybe get some of these things answered. But it's such a sad ending to a story. We had hoped that it would all turn out differently. For Leanna Falk and myself, we're reporting live in Rehoboth. Back to you, Dan.
That he threw me on the ground and pulled my hair and strangled me. My phone is at 4%, and if I die, it was Greg.
First at 6, compelling. A Rehoboth man admits to the murder of his pregnant girlfriend. 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro's body was unearthed last night from the grave he says he buried her in. He told investigators of the horrific details of her death. I'm Gene Valicenti.
And I'm Emily Bowles. We've been bringing you coverage of the search for Kylee for nearly 2 weeks now. Until that stunning admission last night, Kylie's family was holding out hope that she would be found alive. We have live Team 10 coverage in Rehoboth tonight. Patrice Wood joins us to break down what was said when Gregory Groom faced a judge. Patrice?
I've been talking to people here in Rehoboth all day, and I can tell you that there is nothing but sympathy and compassion for the family of Kylee Monteiro. It is such a tragic, tragic story. I'm here at the Rehoboth Police Department, and it was inside there yesterday that Gregory Groom admitted that he killed Kylee Monteiro and then buried it in the backyard. Today, he was in Taunton District Court, and at that time, prosecutors laid out exactly what he told investigators. He says it all started about 2 weeks ago. That was on August 6th, though. He's been sitting on this for 2 weeks. You'll remember Kylee was 3 months pregnant with his child. Kylee showed up at his house, and they got into an argument about whether or not she could stay with him. Kylee texted one of her sisters that he violently assaulted her. Groom reported her missing on the 8th, 2 days later. Local and state police combed through his family's property, but they didn't find Kylee. Well, yesterday, Groom went to the police department to be interviewed, and that's when he confessed to brutally killing Kylee.
This incident stems from the recovery of a body last evening. The incident started on August 8th when this defendant, Gregory Groom, contacted the Rehoboth Police Department to indicate that his ex-girlfriend, identified as 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro, was missing. Mr. Groom reported that Ms. Monteiro was at his house, that she was looking for a place to stay. They got into an argument, and that she ultimately left his residence walking down the driveway, and she hadn't been seen or heard from since. Ms. Monteiro was known to be very active on social media, and he hadn't heard from her, neither had her friends or family, on any social media in the following days. When Mr. Groom reported her missing, Rehoboth police responded to the scene and took a report, and then began an investigation. In the upcoming days, when Ms. Monteiro failed to update any of her social media accounts, the police began to continue in their investigation and ultimately brought Mr. Groom in for an interview. Mr. Groom reported that Ms. Monteiro was approximately 11 weeks pregnant, and she told him that he was the father of the baby, that on August 6th, she had left a residential program and took a ride share to his house. She was looking to stay with him, and an argument ensued about whether or not he would allow her to stay on his property. When the police began to question him and other family members, they learned from Ms. Monteiro's sister that on August 6th, when she had arrived at his house, that there was an altercation between Mr. Groom and Ms. Monteiro. Ms. Monteiro texted a sister that he threw me on the ground and pulled my hair and strangled me. My phone is at 4%, and if I die, it was Greg. Family members then tried to communicate with Ms. Monteiro and get her to a place of safety, and she didn't respond right away. Ultimately, there was a response from her device that indicated she was attempting to continue to stay at Mr. Groom's residence. There was a search that was conducted on August 14th of Mr. Groom's property at 107 County Street in Rehoboth, which is approximately a 25-acre property. That search involved members of the State Police CERT team, the Air Wing, divers, cadaver dogs, and nothing of significance was found during that search. However, based on the failure of Ms. Monteiro to contact any friends or family, the police continued their investigation. Ultimately, yesterday on August 19th, Mr. Groom reported to the Rehoboth Police Station for an interview. During that interview, he admitted that on August 6th, he had gotten into an altercation with Ms. Monteiro where he pushed her, she fell backwards, and she hit her head. When she attempted to contact an individual, Mr. Groom admitted that he knocked her cell phone out of her hand, at which time he was going to be charged with the 3 offenses for assault and battery on domestic assault and battery on a pregnant person, and for intimidation of a witness. When investigators continued to press Mr. Groom on the whereabouts of Ms. Monteiro, they informed him that they had applied for and were granted a search warrant for an extensive search of 107 County Street. That included not only cadaver dogs, but excavators, chemists from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab, and other investigators, and they informed Mr. Groom that they were prepared to search the property and dig if necessary. Mr. Groom then paused. He was given an opportunity to tell the police where Ms. Monteiro's body was located, either by being taken to his property and pointing it out, or drawing a map, or telling the officers where her body was located, as they believed Ms. Monteiro was dead. Mr. Groom ultimately drew a rudimentary map indicating that he got into an argument behind a shed on the property where he was known to stay and where Ms. Monteiro stayed, that during that altercation, Mr. Groom admitted that he stabbed Ms. Monteiro twice in the neck and once in the chest. The stab wound to the chest actually broke the blade of the knife off. He used a kitchen knife to commit the stabbing, and based on that stabbing, Ms. Monteiro was deceased. Mr. Groom indicated to police that he then spent several hours digging a hole in the woods, approximately 20 yards from where he killed Ms. Monteiro, and through the night after he dug, when the sun came up, he then pushed her body into the hole and covered it up. He drew on the map the approximate location of Ms. Monteiro's remains. Officers who were conducting the search warrant then went to the shed. They noticed there was a large pile of brush right next to the shed. That was what Mr. Groom used to cover up the site of the murder, to cover up blood that was ultimately recovered, and physical evidence was recovered from the scene where the police alleged the stabbing occurred. About 20 yards away in the woods, there was another large pile of brush with feet upon feet of trees, cut down trees that were piled up. Underneath that pile, the police located a rectangular hole that appeared that had been recently disturbed dirt. When the police ultimately called in medical examiners to uncover that hole, a body consistent with Kylee Monteiro was discovered approximately 5 feet underground. Ms. Monteiro's remains were recovered last evening, and her body is at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner undergoing identification process and undergoing an autopsy. Based on this case, the defendant's confession and the prior domestic, the Commonwealth asks this court to hold the defendant without bail.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the Rehoboth Police Department for their collaboration and cooperation in this very serious matter, especially from the beginning of it when the defendant called reporting the victim missing. They truly have been a team partner in this case and assisted significantly in investigation. This investigation has been a significant investigation into the disappearance of Kylee Monteiro. Significant resources have been put into locating her, investigating her disappearance. This includes several units from Massachusetts State Police, the homicide prosecutors assigned to the Bristol County District Attorney's Office, the Mass State Police Search and Rescue Team, their dive team, the Air Wing, Mass State Police Crime Scene Services. I would also like to again thank the Rehoboth Highway Department and the Fire Department for assisting in the search that resulted in the body being discovered last night. As I indicated last night and as you heard today, waiting final identification of the body, Kylee Monteiro official identification from the Chief Medical Examiner's Office, but all of the evidence points to the defendant at this point, as you heard in court, having killed her. As I just said, as I met with the family a few minutes ago, certainly it's a very difficult time for them. Extend my sympathies to them and ask them just, to be patient with the process despite the trauma that they are experiencing now. You've heard the evidence outlined in court. Investigation will continue. And we look forward to prosecuting this case in Superior Court.
Yeah, can you talk about any potential motive that, or is it still too early?
It's still too early, and the initial charge that was brought yesterday that you were notified was a domestic altercation in which the defendant has been charged with a separate incident that was one step in leading us towards, focusing on him as a suspect in this case.
At what point did it become clear that this was shifting from a missing person to a recovery of a body?
Well, I would speak generally. This is not a simple matter to look into. The first step is he reports her missing. So that may arouse some reaction from investigators, and from there various evidence is followed up. As you heard inside, he spoke to the police several times, including yesterday, at which point he was being charged with a domestic assault that occurred on or about August 6th, as you heard the prosecutor say, reported by her sister, the victim's recitation of what occurred. And then yesterday, in which he was charged with a domestic incident, and the charges were upgraded to murder after the body was located.
How important or critical was that text message for Kylee?
Well, any evidence that is uncovered has its own independent significance. And I'm not going to get into the particulars here. This is in the beginning stages. We heard the prosecutor outline what happened. But when an investigation focuses on a particular person, there's a basis for that, and that is various pieces of evidence. So he's been charged based on all the evidence that we have uncovered and or discovered during the investigation, and the prosecution will go on from here.
Did the defendant have any history of violence?
I wouldn't get into his background at this point.
Did it take some time to get a search warrant for that property, and if so, why?
Well, again, I told you the resources that came in. The application for the search warrant, as submitted by detectives assigned to my office, was significant. It contains a lot of information. Again, people want to move as quickly as they can, especially myself and various law enforcement agencies, but these investigations take some time and perseverance, and through the hard effort of all the investigators, again, Chief DeMarco is here from Rehoboth. I want to acknowledge their efforts, especially from the beginning, sensing something may not be right with this call. Not every missing person call is taken, let's just say they're taken in different ways sometimes. They took this matter seriously, and I think that started the investigation in the direction that eventually led to the defendant, and he stands before the court today charged with murder.
People were really invested in this, tried getting updates from local police, so did the public. Why was there nothing throughout the week?
Well, again, respectfully, what updates do you want? I mean, investigations aren't conducted in public. Within reason, people want to be informative, but what information should you be giving other than a periodic update? We're working on the case. There were significant resources brought to bear during the past 10 to 12 days of this case that culminated in his arrest. So, unfortunately, it seems in today's world, everybody wants to know what's going on in a sort of, as it happens. That's not the way investigations work. Again, there is a need to know some information, but they aren't discussed in public. That's not the professional way to handle these cases. So you got information last night as to the initial charge that was upgraded to murder, and we're going to proceed with the case through the court system now. Thank you very much.
You've developed a relationship with the family. You've been covering this story from the start. Tell me how the family's doing today.
Yeah, Patrice, Kylie's sister Faith actually texted me this morning saying that she actually has some peace of mind knowing that she did everything in her power to try to find her little sister, Kylee Monteiro, 18 years old and 11 weeks pregnant at the time of her disappearance. Obviously, it's a really tough time for the family right now. Neither family had anything to say as they walked out of the courtroom. Anything you can say to defend?
Can you tell us?
To the victim's family.
Anything you can say about what just happened in there? Some of the details. What can you tell us?
What about your son, your brother? Any words?
No comment from the family of 22-year-old Gregory Groom as they walked out of Taunton District Court Wednesday after hearing gruesome details surrounding the murder of his pregnant teenage girlfriend, Kylee Monteiro.
What can you comment on the
excuse me.
His attorney, who also first found out about the details in court, didn't have much to say either.
No comment.
Kylie's family sat in the front row of the courtroom. I'm in close contact with her sisters, being the first reporter to interview her sister Faith back on August 12th. She told me then how concerned she was and talked to me again yesterday on scene on County Street.
We want her to come home, but at the end of the day, whether she is dead or alive, we just need closure.
Unfortunately, it's a tragic outcome, with Kylie's remains found at her boyfriend's property last night. The family now left trying to grasp the horrific details of what happened to their little sister, 18-year-old Kylee Monteiro, and her unborn baby.
We have no comment. Please respect our privacy. Thank you.
And her sisters did want me to let everyone know that there will still be a vigil. That's going to be Saturday night. The details will be on our website. That's turnto10.com.
Oh, they're still going to have that over the Redway Plain on Route 44, right?
Yes, yeah. They are going to have that 7 p.m. Saturday night.
Okay. And meanwhile, Groom is being held without bail, and there'll be another court hearing next month. Well, tonight the community is still grieving after the murder of a pregnant 18-year-old in Rehoboth. And today it is serving as a painful reminder the impact domestic violence can have on young people. Prosecutors say Kylee Monteiro was stabbed to death by her boyfriend. NBC 10's Mike Cerullo spoke to victim advocates about what resources are available for other victims.
My heart goes out to Kylee's family.
Vanessa Volz is the president of Sojourner House, a nonprofit serving survivors of domestic violence and abuse in Rhode Island.
How often do you see young women similar to Kylee?
I mean, we get calls every day from people who are in situations and they need housing, they need shelter, they need support. I don't think it's an understatement to say this is a public health epidemic.
Sojourner House offers a variety of services, including support groups, emergency shelters, and transitional housing. The nonprofit helps thousands of people every year and says from July 2024 through June 2025, 60% of clients in its shelter and housing programs were under the age of 24, just like Kylee.
It's really important for victims to know they're not alone, they're not imagining it, and most importantly, there are people out there who can help.
Kylie's sisters told NBC 10 before she went missing, Kylee had been staying at Bethesda House, a shelter for pregnant women and mothers in Pembroke, Massachusetts, but had been kicked out after missing a mandatory morning meeting due to a hospital visit the previous day. They say that's how she ended up back in Rehoboth with her boyfriend. NBC 10 has reached out to Bethesda House but has not heard back. Fultz says she's not familiar with the program or its rules, but at Sojourner House shelters, staff will try to work with clients who may be struggling with the requirements.
We really try to establish enough rules to keep people safe, but also give them the freedom to make their own choices and come and go as they need to.
Mike Cerullo, NBC 10 News.